We have the Amarillo in the shop today because, as you can see, I put these 37s on. It used to have 35s. That was way too small. It used to have these mud flaps that were like these kickback flaps. And obviously now that the tires are bigger, it just snagged in the tire and ripped them off. So I need some mud flaps. I don't really care about having mud flaps. Apparently the cops don't like it when I'm winging rocks through people's windshields. So I will be making some rock tamers hangers that go on that there hitch mount that come out to hold some new mud flaps. And I will be putting an exhaust tip on here because apparently the old one just like rusted and fell right off. Don't need to comment on this body rust. I'll get to putting a new box on this at some point. Here I got these two lengths of, they're like 1.5 long. They're 1.5 by 1.5 quarter wall tubing. And I think these will work quite well for making those hangers. I'm going to basically weld these straight horizontal out from that hitch mount there. Like that. I'll cut it off flush with the body, cap the end, and I'll make some metal tabs that go down to mount the mud flaps. And then I ordered up, I've never used them before, but I got these PVC mud flaps. And the only thing I'm hoping with using the PVC is they're not going to act like regular rubber mud flaps where the side that always gets sun gets all wrinkly and then it curls. I'm hoping these stay flat, and these are for a dually obviously, so I got to trim them. I really like the look of these mud flap tags, kickback mud, whatever you call these things that you put on the bottom of mud flaps. I had some sets that were on the previous mud flaps on this truck that said turbo diesel, but I want some custom ones, some ones that nicely fit this mud flap, and I want them to say Amarillo, and I'm going to paint them yellow. So last night I was up late, I designed up some nice little tags there. I'm going to cut them out, and then I'm going to try them out on these mud flaps, and hopefully those will look pretty good. Just going to eyeball this guy, and then I will mark the other one the same length, chop them, and I think I'll put a 45 on there, and I'll cap it. I also grabbed a couple of these D-rings here, and I'm going to mount them just below the hitch because you can't have too many pulling points on the back of a truck. Also for safety chains can go to this instead of these terrible cheesy tabs. So some nice 1/2 inch D-rings on there, and I guess, yeah, these are welded up. I just got to cap the ends, and then I can line it up on the truck, drill the holes for it, and I guess trim those mud flaps to the right size. Well, after about 400 taps with the 2x4, we got that exhaust tip slammed on there about 4 inches. We're about to there. So I could either take and throw a couple self-tappers in there, which I know will rust and expand and break off, or I could take the welder and go zip zip and just basically put a little tack on each side. Now that I got these two tags all cleaned up, buffed down to bare metal, they look freaking fantastic. Like, they turned out perfect. Very happy with these. I just need to hit them with some primer and some paint. But I was going to say, I will be launching a website soon. It's almost done. I'm just working on getting some more photos together for it and some more products figured out. And I'll be selling all of my merch there, hats, shirts, sweaters. You know, if you want to support the channel and you need a new work hoodie anyways, head over there to pick one up. Once it's launched, I will put the link in the description, and then I'll have the link in my YouTube link tree everywhere. You'll be able to find it. But I'm going to sell things like these custom mud flap tags. I've made some of these that say Power Stroke, some say Turbo Diesel. I can make custom ones for you. I can do like custom orders. At this point, if you want these, I won't be painting them or anything. I will cut them out, clean them down, buff them, so they're just ready for you to paint them or powder coat them. I'm not set up for powder coating yet, but maybe one day I'll be powder coating and selling products. But you can hit up my DMs on Instagram. I try to regularly go through those message requests. So feel free to message me over there and say, hey, I want exactly this for Amarillo. I want one that's for a 12-inch wide mud flap or whatever. Whatever details, just let me know. And I'd probably be selling these, like, you gotta pay shipping, obviously. But I think these would go for like 20 bucks each, is what I've been selling them for so far. So I could probably stick with that and still have it somewhat worth my time. Otherwise, I'll be having all the generic things on the website when it's launched. So be looking out for that if you want to support the channel. Otherwise, just support it by a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I'm just gonna buff this guy down a little bit and then hit it with some primer and some gloss black paint. We got a nice heavy coat of paint sprayed on our hitch. It looks pretty good. It needs a couple little touch-ups here and there still. Instead of doing heavy coats, I do multiple thin coats, as thin as I can get away with. I'll get less runs and I'll get a much more even paint job at the end, and I won't get that tiger striping look to it. This hitch receiver has had over 24 hours to dry now, so it's nice and somewhat hardened. I really wish I was using like an epoxy paint or something, because it would be hard now. This is still like I can scratch it. These aerosol paints are just terrible. I don't love them, but I mean, they do get the job done. It just, you know, it's gonna take like a week for that to actually be like hard. And those turned out really nice, actually. I'm very happy with those. Like I said, the paint's dry, but it still feels soft. So just be careful not to scratch them up, but that'll look really good. So I'm gonna bolt that hitch up in the truck, and then I'm going to mount these on the mud flaps and mount the mud flaps on there. I almost needed the torch to remove all of these hitch mounting bolts, because underneath the truck obviously gets a lot of salt and road spray. So I'm gonna give them a generous coat of grease before reinstalling them. So hopefully if I have to take it out again in a year or two, it comes out without so much hassle. That turned out not too bad. It's legal, it looks all right, and it does everything it's supposed to. And this is all nicely painted now. And we got some nice D-rings on there, which makes me happy. But I know what everyone is actually hoping for, which is a cat swapped F350 update. I will be uploading one soon. Stay tuned for the update. Check the description for the link for the webpage I'll be launching. And just stay tuned.